Hopefully Jelani's okay. She's banging around back there. All right, we were talking about these middle school students because they were pepper sprayed in Kapolei. There's an officer on campus. He says he was trying to break up a fight and was outnumbered. Civil Beat's Chad Blair is here to talk about this. So let's talk about exactly what happened in February.
Some of the details are not entirely clear, and this involves juveniles, so we can't talk too much about what we do know. But it was a group of girls. They were attacking another girl at Kapolei Middle School. This was in February, and there was an HPD officer on hand who tried to break things up. At one point, he appears to have grabbed the arm of one of them. Something broke out, people attacked, and the officer felt that he had no option other than to break out the pepper spray to disperse the situation and restore order, and that's what happened. I should tell you there were 3 arrests made, and as I said, I can't talk about the details, but it does raise this question about what kind of security, how much security should we have at our schools?
So for this particular group of girls, there was no long-term ill effect as far as their health.
We don't quite know, and that's one of the things Madeline Valera reports on. Well, just how bad is pepper spray for you? Certainly it hurts your eyes, it gets in your face. Some people say it's harmless. The police say there's no long-term effects. Others have said, well, wait a minute, what if you've got asthma? And there are some indications that people have had problems. So that's part of the deal here. I think the larger question is, do you need to have armed security on school campuses? And this comes as some parents have petitioned to actually have what are known as armed school resource officers, not cops, but these people who are armed at schools. They actually have been deployed at Kapolei and also in Waianae and also in Kaimuki. Some people like the ACLU Hawaii say, wait a minute, that's not the solution, not more security. What you really need is more counselors.
So a couple of things struck me about this particular article. The age of these girls, they were talking middle school, so right. 11 to 14, very, very young.
Yes.
And also, this is not the first time pepper spray has been used at a Hawaii campus, right?
No, as a matter of fact, I think it was the exact same school, Kapolei, a couple of years ago. So it's not, it is rare, but it is happening more and more. And the concern is, well, how do you break that up? I mean, here's what the cops will do. They will first try and show up and say, we're here, stop. And then they'll try and verbally interfere. And then if they have to, they'll get physical. Pepper spray is number 4 on the list. I don't know to what degree these armed school officers are going to be able to do that, to what are they going to deploy. But the counter argument is, no, what you really need is people who are mental health professionals talking to these kids, the kids that are at risk of harming themselves or harming others. That's really the better way to go rather than having these armed security people in the schools.
So the idea being that you can counsel them away from the fight?
Well, more importantly, intervene beforehand. Work with them to bring down whatever is...
the temperature.
Exactly. So hopefully they don't actually reach this situation in which they are ganging up on others. Will that solve all the problems? I don't know. There has been a move at the Ledge, for example, to get licensure for school psychologists. That bill died. There's another movement to get more money to help bring in these mental health interventionists into the schools. So we'll see. It's a tough thing to balance, but at least one parent told Madeline, I think we should have a more positive, proactive environment. It's the wrong message to send when you have an armed security officer there in the hallways.
All right, you should read the full article. It's on civilbeat.org or text 66866 to get the newsletter. Thank you, Chad, for being here.
Thanks, Grace.
All right, Jelani.
Hey, Grace.